We are here at India Energy Week 2025, and we have with us Ms. Jennifer Holmgren, Chair and CEO, LanzaTech. So, ma'am, if you see how, what are the emerging scenario for the sustainability in developing countries?
I feel developing countries, especially India, are going to take an important leadership role. These countries are growing, and so the opportunities are very large. You don't already have a lot of infrastructure, so what that means is you can develop sustainable infrastructure. India is so well positioned. It has cheaper power, which means green hydrogen is possible. And I think the Minister of Oil and Natural Gas, Mr. Pune, is so committed to a pragmatic approach. Everything will be used to create this new sustainable future.
LanzaTech is at the forefront of the sustainable initiatives, and a lot of developments have been taken place in past few months. I have been tracking LanzaTech quite well. So, what are the developments and your next 1 to 2 years aim for LanzaTech?
Yeah, we are really focused on the circular carbon economy, getting more product from the same feedstock. So for us, you can see we can make polyester, we can make textiles, all from recycled emissions. What does this mean? This means that every carbon atom that comes into a refinery can be used. None of it will be wasted. So for us, that's a key. The second key is working with the farmers and the rural economy. We can bring manufacturing to the rural economy to convert their waste resources to ethanol, to sustainable aviation fuel, and to materials. So for me, there's so much opportunity in the next few years.
A lot of innovations is taking place at LanzaTech. You have been coming with new innovations for different sectors: ethanol, hydrogen, biofuel, and different. What are the latest innovations that you are working on or recently launched or implemented?
So I think the biggest example is CO2 plus hydrogen. We're working here with NTPC to go from CO2 plus green hydrogen to sustainable aviation fuel. I consider that a big innovation. The other innovation is to make chemicals like isopropanol and acetone to allow us to make polypropylene. So it's new feedstocks like CO2, new products like polypropylene. That's our focus.
You have been working with all the governments from US to Europe to here in Asia. What sort of policy support the global government should extend to players like you who are very active in the sustainability for the sustainable growth or to maintain the environment overall?
So I think there's two things that are important. We need policy that is technology neutral and incentivizes carbon reduction. If you don't push for carbon reduction at the government level, because it's more expensive, nobody's going to do it. So you have to do something at the government level. And then the second thing, we have to help companies to scale. There's a lot of technology in the lab. How do we go and scale? India has the viability gap funding. Europe has innovation funding. US has IRA. Commitment, not just to new technologies, but to scale is very important.
And from LanzaTech to LanzaJet, so the very concentrated, strong focus on sustainable aviation fuel. What is the logic behind this, and how this segment, LanzaTech, is doing in terms of performance?
Yeah, so that's a great question. You know, the difference between jet fuel and materials is that this is a voluntary market. Sustainable aviation fuel is a government-mandated market, an industry-mandated market. A mandated market will always go faster. So for us, since we can do both, the focus has to be on the one that will go faster. That's what we're doing.
So currently, which aviation companies or airlines are in your fold?
We are working with British Airways,
Yeah.
Virgin Atlantic, ANA, and we're also working with distributors like Suncor and Shell. So we have quite a range of companies we're working with.
And how do you see the adoption of sustainable aviation fuel by the global aviation companies or in the market?
So actually, they are all leaning in. You know, some of our investors are airline companies. They don't normally invest in fuel production. That shows you their commitment. Southwest in the U.S. committed. Airport in France committed. ADP is the airport authority committed. So this is an industry where even though the government is mandated, they themselves are committed. That's really important at two levels.
And if you see, LanzaTech has been quite active on all these sustainability fronts. Where do you see LanzaTech 5 years down the line on the global sustainability map, both in terms of saving the earth, nature, as well as performance-wise?
We are committed to becoming a profitable company in the next 5 years. For us, that's the most important focus. We need to build enough commercial facilities to become self-sustaining. We need to do that very, very quickly. So for us, deploy, and make enough revenue and profit to be self-sustaining.
Last question. What message would you like to give to the various industries to adopt the sustainable practices where they are lacking?
I would say you should think about it differently. You know, we have focused on energy efficiency because it saves money.
Yeah.
Why not do the same thing with carbon efficiency? You will get more product from the same feedstock. That's what you have to think about. How do you use carbon efficiency as a complement to energy efficiency to make more product, to save money, and increase your profit? Don't think about it as you have to do it. Think about it, how can I use it to grow?
And one more thing, like these things, from the CO2 sort of, what scale would you like to take it up?
You know, right now, we started with capsule collections. Now you can go to On stores and you can go to REI or Crag Hoppers. You can buy every day, any day, recycled carbon emission polyester. I want these companies, all their polyester, to be from this. That's the goal.